Breathing is very important.
If you don't breathe, you could die.
Obviously, that's a tad dramatic, but when it comes to public speaking, if you don't breathe correctly, you could die on your feet, you could die of embarrassment. You won't die, so don't worry. Things that come from bad breath work in public speaking could be ums, or speaking way too quickly, or not pausing at the right time. And this can materialize into speeding up, panic, fluster, loads of filler words, and many, many more things that we don't really want. What do you do when you're nervous? What do you do when your body goes into a state of shock? You hyperventilate. This is probably something we want to avoid when speaking in public, is my advice. Or just talking to yourself, or the voices in your head.
Tom, you look quite handsome today.
Sometimes the voices are kind to me. Let's start with some science. Breathing is when you inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Bet you didn't know that. However, what is actually happening? Contrary to popular belief, we aren't actually breathing with our lungs. Our lungs are just the bags that the air goes into. We are breathing with our diaphragm, which is like an umbrella. And when you breathe in, like this, that's what your diaphragm does. And it pushes all of your organs out of the way and pushes them right down towards your bottom. Kind of gross, I know. The further we can get the diaphragm down, the more air we can get in. This is important for a few reasons. Your vocal folds are like tectonic plates, and they rub together like this. In order for them to rub together, we need air to pass through them. If the amount of air you have available and ready to push through them is minimal, you'll get something like this. A very weak connection. Imagine a bit like a flag on a day where there's a very light breeze. It kind of flaps in the wind, and that's what your voice is doing. And as a result, we'll get this very, very creaky sound. But instead, we want to create a nice sustained flow of air, which will create a much more sustained sound. Thinking of the air creating a lovely, strong connection, or a lovely, strong, it's ridiculous, a lovely, strong flag in the wind, almost like it's very taut, very erect. So here's an exercise to start with. I want you to start breathing into your tummy. I want you to make yourself very fat. So this is what you're not going to do. Shoulders are not going to move. Instead, think about breathing deep down into your tummy like this. Little to no movement in my shoulders. It's all in my belly. You can place your hands on your stomach like this. Deep into the tummy, rather than snatch of breath. Once you've done that, I want you to do that 5 or 6 times. In through the nose, out through the nose. Then, when you exhale, after the initial exercise, I want you to exhale on a light hum, like so. So into the tummy. I'm going to cut it there because if I go on for too long, but you get the gist. Hold it for as long as you can until you run out of breath, and then let the air replenish, but into the tummy. Once you've done that a few times as well, 3, 4, 5 times, I want you to then open up your mouth, which will turn the hum into an R, like this. Again, going to cut there because I could go on for hours. I've got pretty good breath control. So what this is encouraging is a deep, whole, scrumptious, struggling for the word there, breath, which is going to help sustain the sound. If I take a snap breath and then try and do the humming exercise, it will flavor like this. Now, obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but you might recognize that sound from when you're talking in a meeting or you're talking and you're nervous. Maybe you're on a first date.
I suck at first dates.
Your voice is shaking. Many people say this, my voice shakes. Why does my voice shake? Well, because you're not taking in enough air. This is a fantastic place to start. So I'm going to be putting the exercises that I want you to do here. So feel free to take a screenshot of that right now. Do it before it's too late. Okay, good. So it's going to entail breathing into the tummy, not into the chest, keeping those shoulders down, and exhaling on a nice, gentle hum. This is a really good place to start. I will, of course, record another video furthering the work on breathwork in due course, but for now, this is what you get. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on.
Subscribe for more.
The voices in my head are very kind today. Enjoy.